Wednesday. This is Melissa Thomas from Sea Stamping, and I'm so very glad that you're here and that we're all here. October. This is the stamp set. That's very exciting. All right, I'm just making sure that I can see our live because then if you want to comment, I can respond in real time. If you're watching this later, I would love it if you would post replay so that I have a better idea of who's engaging with my content later. So if you would type replay, that would be fantastic. We are going to tackle the modern Christmas card class. So Merry Makers, we have a series of 4 card classes that we do. There's 4 of us that partner: Susan Rutherford, Darlene Walker, Jill Moyer, and myself. And the 4 of us, we each design a class and then we share it and we each run it every month. And I'm just like a little bit behind, like a few days behind. So this was September's Modern Christmas Merry Makers card class, and I'm going to make it with you. I could probably make a back packet if we needed to, but I would need multiple people to do that. I'll put the registration link below, so if you're interested in getting future packets, we have 2 more months left. The next one is Peaceful Garden, which has all the doves. It's so pretty. And then the one after that is Joyful Tidings, and it features the snowflake pine cone Christmas paper. It's really deep and dark and moody. Anyway, that'll be the November one. So we've got 2 more classes, so we're like halfway through. This marks the halfway point. We had 2 people who wanted like a back class, so I was able, because it was 2 of them, to go back and like back prep and then move forward. It's because I take the paper and we cut it in half, so you get half a pack of the paper. So in this case, they got half a pack of Modern Christmas and a full pack of the black and white and gold Baker's Twine, which is gorgeous and a lot of fun to play with. So I'm going to make the set of cards with you. And for those that get the class, they get this full color PDF with directions and measurements and everything. You know, no problem there if you got the class. I've got the cards here, so I'm going to kind of pull out what we're working on. And then I've got my packet. So the packets come, you make 2 of every card. So for this one, we made 2 of these, and I'm just making 1. I want to save that. Okay, great. So for this card, and I just kind of layer everything and we pull, layer off. For this card, we're gonna need a piece of the designer series paper. I feel like I might have trimmed this out. Maybe not. You never know with me. Okay, so here's my designer series paper stack, and I've got lots of exciting things happening here. Let's see, where are those ornaments? I've used a lot of this paper. I really love this pattern. We didn't use it because it's a little big and bold, but I do really like it. I might make a card with that since we didn't use it. Okay, good. Here's our ornaments. So for this card, we're gonna fussy cut 3 ornaments. And I'm just gonna pick 3 down here. I don't really care which 3. So, but we're just gonna leave a little bit of a gold shadow around it, and hopefully we do a pretty good job cutting these out. I will say that normally fussy cutting is pretty forgiving, but apparently when you put it on a black background, it becomes less forgiving. So I found that, I don't know, I wanted to be a little more precise than I was yesterday when we were making this class in person. So I run the class both online and in person. So I have folks who are getting the packet in the mail, and then I have folks for whom they come to my place and we do it together, which is really fun. So if you're interested in coming to class in person, or online. You can register with the form. I'll link it down below later. And then I usually just, I'll message you and be like, hey, are you coming in person or are you going to get it to go? I think I have that option even in the form. But sometimes people change their minds. And I used to offer it on Sunday afternoons, but I didn't have a lot of takers. So I'm doing Tuesdays about midday. So you could come take a long lunch and come out to Dripping Springs, hang out with me. Or you can do it online. And I tape a video and you have the PDF and everything. So, all right. So we have a card base. We're gonna put this on the inside. There's just a white piece for the inside because it's black, and you want to be able to write a note, I'm sure, to somebody. So we're just gonna do that. I will say I ran out of basic black cardstock, so I started using two-tone, which is not exactly black, but whatever, it's fine. All right, so what I would recommend is that you cut the pieces of, and I'll try the black for this one. I did the white twine on this one and then the black here, but I'm gonna do black on both and see if I like it better. I don't know if it really makes a difference. We just need 3 small pieces of this to do these little hanger pieces. And then I'm gonna use non-wet adhesive for this. And I'm also going to use a glue dot. So I'm gonna put a glue dot at the top of each of these ornaments. And I think I'm kind of changing how I did it when I did it in person, but I did end up kind of tucking a glue dot under there eventually because it was essential. And I'm wondering how, these are all white, which is interesting. Okay, well, we'll just do that. All right, so the 2 back ones are going to get some dry adhesive. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this and I'm gonna kind of add that there. I'm gonna go low with that one. And then we're gonna add some dry adhesive here. And maybe I'll go a little bit higher with this one. That might be hard to angle correctly, but all right. And then this one, I'm gonna pop up with a dimensional or 2. I've got some little mini black ones that I'm using up. So I'm gonna put that there, and then I'm also gonna anchor it down with a dimensional 2. So extra, extra, extra glue, right? I like insurance. I'm risk adverse. All right, so I might go low on that one. Okay, so I've got these 3 on my circle. So now I'm going to flip it over and I'm gonna put some adhesive back here because I want them to kind of come together on the back and not look super awkward hanging in here, but also, and then this will kind of cap it. And so hopefully that'll kind of cover, any of the sins back there, quote unquote. All right, we got through those dimensionals. And then I'm gonna cut some of these sides on here. And I'm gonna use one of those sides to kind of glue down some of those pieces. And I'll probably trim that off too. All right, well, that's probably pretty good. And then I'm gonna put some adhesive on here and I'm gonna put a little dimensional on there. So I've got a dimensional right here on the kind of the part that's gonna, and then I put glue on the part that's gonna go there. So I'm building this here because I then have to build another piece here because it's got to be connected to the top. Like lots and lots of little magical gluing behind the scenes here. So, all right, I'm going to put a glue dot here. Did you know glue dots are one of our strongest adhesives? Like pound for pound, you know? I don't know, pound for pound, but does that make sense? Like, I think it's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna go a little lower with this one. There we go. All right, so that's glued. And then I've got this kind of the cap that I'm gonna put on there so that that goes there. And then we'll run this behind here and we're gonna go ahead and we'll just make sure that we like how that's hanging. Okay, and then I'm probably gonna go ahead and trim off the excess there. And then we will lay this down on the front. And then the last piece is we're gonna heat emboss the 'Tis the Season, the sentiment. And I want to show you, I'm not gonna, there's actually 3 of the cards have heat embossing on them, and I'm not gonna heat emboss all of them. I will show you one in terms of tips and tricks, and then I'll do the rest off camera. I do like that the little mini dimensionals fit behind these little 4-sided stars. So there are 4-sided stars and a 5-sided star in this. There's like a traditional star as well. And so let me, hold on, the child is messaging. One of the things I like about this die set is that it has it has 2 of these dies, and they are, each die cuts 2. So, I mean, you can get a lot of these little